So students, today we will talk about production function. Here I have written production function. So what is a production function? A production function is a statement or state the relationship between output and input. We can say a production function as a technological term or it shows the relationship or the maximum quantity which can be produced by the use of available internal factor of production or internal input factor of production. It is defined only in technological term. When we talk about production function, we state all the terms which are concerned with the production. Suppose that if we are talking about the quantity of commodity X is produced, the function will involve all the factors which are responsible for the production, such as F1, the one factor, factor 2, factor 3 and so on. All the factors which are responsible, the input factor which are responsible or which maximize the total output with the given quantity of input factor production with the given technology. It states the total quantity of a commodity which is produced by the producer with the optimum use of the available technology and the best use of the technique of production. If we talk about, if we say in the production function labor L, capital K are the input factor which involved to produce, so the production function will be L and K, means L labor and K capital is responsible for the production of the commodity product. Here we find two types of production function, short run production function and long run production function. Short run production function states or it operates where the some factor of production are variable and some factor of production are assumed as fixed. Long run production function, in this production function all the factor of production, say land, labor and capital are variable. In short term production function we find out or we talk about return to factor, and in long run we talk about return to scale. So first we will talk about short run production function, return to factor. In this first we have to understand about total product, average product and marginal product. Total product or total physical product can be defined as a term that entire quantity or the total quantity which is produced by the producer with the use of variable factor along with some fixed factor of production. Say the use of labor with the fixed factor of capital and land. Average product. Average product is defined as the per unit variable factor, the product which is denoted as per unit variable factor, that is known as average product. Marginal product. Marginal product is defined the additional amount of output with the additional unit of variable factor, say labor. Here I have written a table, you can see the table. In the fixed factor I have written land 1 crore, that is fixed at all the tons. Variable factor I have taken 1 labor and we are increasing labor. Total product, average product and marginal product. Here you can use the formula for total product. Average product is equal to total product TP divided by variable factor labor. Marginal product equal to MP equal to total product TP minus N minus 1, means present minus preceding. Here when the land is fixed at every variable factor production, when there is a 0 variable factor production, the production total product is 0, average product also 0 and marginal product is 0. Now at one additional unit of variable factor, say increase in the labor, it had increased the total product from 0 to 4, and then when it increased from 1 to 2, the production total product has increased from 4 to 10, and when another labor introduced from 2 to 3, one more labor, it has increased the production from 10 to 18 and so on. and we have find out here average product by dividing total product from the labor. 4 divided by 1 is 4 in average product column. You can see here 10 divided by 2 5, 18 divided by 3 6, and so on. Now how we have find out here marginal product MP, we have subtract present minus preceding. 4 minus 0 4, 10 minus 4 6, 18 minus 10 8, 14 24 minus 8 6, and so on. Now we have to define the relationship between the total product and marginal product, average product and marginal product. If you can see here, we have 3 stages. This is the first stage, this is the second stage, and this is the third stage of production. There are 3 stages of production. In the first stage, we can see marginal product is increasing, MP is increasing in the first stage. This is first stage, this is second stage, and this is the third stage. Here you can see the relationship between total product, average product and marginal product. In the first relationship, when the marginal product is greater than average product, you can see from 4 to 6. Here the marginal product is more than average product, so average product is increasing. When the marginal product will be greater than more than average product will increase. When average product will equal to the marginal product, average product will constant, where the marginal product is equal to the total product. And when the average product will be less than more than marginal product, or you can say when the marginal product is less than average product start decreasing. Now average product has start decreases from 4 when the marginal product is 4, and when the 5th unit of the labor has introduced. So these are the relationships. There are 3 relationships between average product and marginal product. When marginal product is more than average product will increase. When marginal product will be equal to average product will constant. When marginal product will be less than average product will fall. And now we are going to talk about the relationship between total product and marginal product. First, when the total product increase in increasing rate, say from 4 to 10, increment is 6, 10 to 18, increment is 8, it is increasing in increasing rate, marginal product will increase. When the total product will increase in increasing rate, marginal product will increase. Then after 18, the total product is increasing in decreasing rate. When the total product will increase in decreasing rate, marginal product will decrease. When the total product will increase in decreasing rate, marginal product will decrease. When the total product will be at maximum, here 30 to 30, when the total product will be at maximum, marginal product will be 0. And the fourth relation, when total product will decline or when the total product will decrease, marginal product will be negative. We can state this relation also with the diagram. I am going to draw a diagram here to understand the relationship between marginal product and total product and average product between marginal product. Now here we are going to make a graph. The first, we will draw the graph of total product. This will be TP and this will be labor. And the second graph will be for, this will be x-axis will represent labor and the y-axis will represent marginal product and average product. The first is, this is total product TP, and here the marginal product MP, and here the average product AP. You can see here when the first label was introduced, L1. In the second stage, when total product is maximum, label 2, and this is the third stage. This is the first stage, stage 1. This is the second stage, stage 2, and this is the third stage, stage 3. In the first stage, we can see here, we are putting a point M here, till the average total product is increasing in increasing rate. The marginal product is increasing, and when the total product decrease in decreasing rate, marginal product has start decreases. When the total product is on maximum, marginal product has become 0. When the total product has fall down, marginal product become negative. And here you can see the relation between MP and AP. When the marginal product is more than average product, here the average product is increasing. When the average product becomes equal to marginal product, average product has become constant. When the marginal product is less than average product has start decreasing. In all the three stages, we can shift the name, we can name in all the stage. First stage with the name of increasing return, second stage known with the name of diminishing return, third stage, stage 3, known with the name of negative return. These are three stages. First stage is known as increasing return, as here marginal product is increasing, total product is increasing, and average product also increasing. In the second stage, we known as with the name of diminishing return, as the total product is increasing in decreasing rate, marginal product is decreasing, average product also start decreasing. Third stage is known with the name of negative return, as total product start decreasing, marginal product becomes negative. Now we will talk about what is the reason behind increasing return, diminishing return, and negative return. Why does there is a increasing return? First, increase in the variable factor of production labor, it brings specialization in the organization. When labor increases, we provide the work to the labor with their skill and knowledge. It divides the work, it brings division of work. So it brings more productivity in the organization. Secondly, the reason of increasing return is optimum utilize the fixed factor of production. Increase in the variable factor of production, it employed perfectly or in optimum proportion of the fixed factor of production, such as land and capital. The increase in labor, it fully or optimum utilize the fixed factor of production, so it brings more productivity in the industry. Second, where there is a diminishing return. What is the reason of diminishing return? Diminishing return, the main reason are imperfect suitability of the substitute factor of the production, fixed factor, or you can say imperfect substitutability of the fixed factor of production. See, the increase in labor cannot be the substitute of the increase in the capital or the land. Suppose that in the place when you are required to increase the land, we are increasing just labor in the place of increase of land. So the increase in labor cannot substitute the land perfectly. Secondly, why there is a decreasing return? Because when we increase the labor in the organization, it increase the cost of the production. It increase the cost of the production, and the overcrowding the fixed factor of production, or the optimum utilization of fixed factor should not take place or may not take place. And the last, the negative return. We talk about when the third stage. Why there is a third stage takes place when there is a negative return? First reason is overcrowding. As we know, many cook spoil the soup. So when there is a overcrowding in the organization, it becomes so difficult to increase the productivity. Secondly, managerial problem. Increase in the labor also increase the managerial problem. To manage the labors, they start playing blame game. They put the burden of their work on their other shoulders. So it start giving negative return. Now there is a question, in which stage a producer should produce. So we already know about all the three stages. In the first stage, average product increases, marginal product increase, and average product increase. In second stage, average product, total product increase in decreasing rate, marginal product start decreasing, average product also decrease. And in the third stage, last stage, total product start decreasing, marginal product becomes negative. Now first we will talk about the third stage. So a rational producer, when there is a increase in the labor, decrease the productivity of the organization or decrease the productivity of production unit. A rational producer would like to decrease the variable factor of production, or we can say labor, to increase the productivity. So a rational producer will decrease the labor and it will start coming in second stage to increase the productivity. Means a rational producer would not like to produce in the third stage, would not like to operate in the third stage. Let's talk about first stage. In the first stage, as we are seeing here, the return is increasing. Means every increase in the labor is increasing the total product in increasing rate. So the marginal product also decreasing, but the problem is marginal product is also increasing. The problem is here, average product along with the increase in the marginal product is also increases. So a rational producer would like to increase the labor. He would like to increase the labor to get the chance of the productivity, or to get the chance of getting more productivity. So the rational producer would like to increase more unit of, or employ one or more unit of labor. You would like to increase additional number of labor to increase the productivity, and he will shift in the second stage. So rational producer, now we have come to a conclusion. A rational producer would not produce in the third stage, neither in the first stage. Rational producer, when he will be in the third stage, he will decrease the labor to increase the productivity, and he will shift in the second stage. In the first stage, a rational producer will increase the labor, increase the variable factor of production to increase the productivity, and will be shift in the second stage. So a rational producer will produce only in the second stage. So students, today we have talked about the production function, all the three stages, and we have come to know in which stage a rational producer would like to produce. If there is a PSU, public sector organization. Public sector organization always operate in the third stage. PSU, public sector undertaking, which is owned, governed by the government body. Why they will produce in the third stage? Because profit making is not the objective of the public sector organization. They will here produce in the third stage also, as they have to increase the employment. But a rational producer will always produce in the second stage, not in the first stage, neither in the third stage.